Welcome to the Conscious Conception Show with me, Sue Ritchie. This show will take you from confusion to clarity, confidence and emotional healing to a joyful pregnancy. This is the place where we uncover the real truth about fertility and why preparing for conception, mind, body and soul, is more important than ever. With honest, empowering conversations, we'll explore the hidden factors impacting fertility and how a holistic approach can help you take back control of your journey. Whether you're trying naturally, navigating IVF, or just starting out, know this: you're not alone, you're not broken, and you're already on your way. So let's walk this path together. Hi, welcome to the Conscious Conception Show with me, Sue Ritchie. I'm a holistic health and fertility specialist, and I'm really delighted that you've decided to join me today on the show. This is the first episode of the show, and we're going to be talking about the importance of gut health, and in particular in how it relates to your fertility. Now, if you have any messages that you want to send or any questions that you want to ask during the show, please do put them in the chat. So let's get started. And I just wanted to sort of talk about, the whole concept of the gut microbiome. And I'm sure, you've seen in lots of, media, press, articles, talking about the gut microbiome and how important it is for our physical health and also our mental well-being. But one of the things that doesn't seem to be talked about very much, unfortunately, is what impact does your gut microbiome have on your fertility? And to me, it's one of the big missing factors that's getting in the way. And, it's not talked about. So today we're really going to talk about your gut health, how it influences hormone balance, how it impacts on but egg and sperm quality, and, how it even can have an impact on the success of IVF as well. So have you just decided that you want to have a baby? Or are you preparing for IVF treatment? Maybe you've actually sort of recently had a diagnosis of unexplained infertility. Or maybe you've been struggling for quite a while and just not, things are just not happening for you. No matter what place you're in, this what we're going to talk about today is really going to help you to move forward on your path to your fertility journey with more clarity and with more confidence. And I think today I really want to sort of start with sort of talking about the gut microbiome, what it is, and how that has an impact on fertility. So our microbiome consists of about, more than 1,000 different bacteria, also, trillions of little other microorganisms, if you like. They all live in our gut. And our gut microbiome is something that we acquire. We acquire it from the day that we're born, and it's impacted and built, if you like, by what we're eating, but also to things that we're exposed to in the environment. And it basically forms our immune system, and this influences our health not only during childhood but also later in life. And did you know that your gut microbiome is as unique to you as your fingerprint? And it can be rapidly altered by many different factors. And the gut bacteria that we have in the gut, or the bacteria in the gut, is about the size of our brain, and it's about 4 pounds in weight. So it's quite a big thing, really, isn't it? And it's also quite often called our second brain. And it's called that because the gut and the brain are just talking to each other constantly during the whole 24 hours, if you like, that we're going in every day. And the gut bacteria, if you like, in the microbiome obviously plays a big role in our digestion. It helps regulate our immune system. It protects us against, other bacteria that are harmful, that could cause us to have disease. And it also produces some vitamins, but it also plays a big role in balancing and managing a lot of our hormones. Now, 70% of our immune system lies in the gut. Now, that's quite a big thing, isn't it? And, I think it's important, particularly when you're looking to conceive and have a baby, because, you need to be healthy before you conceive, so that, you can, while you're going through pregnancy, you want to be healthy too, so that, you don't catch any bugs and diseases and things that might actually, have a negative impact and cause harm to your baby. And I think also it's about, thinking further ahead as well, in terms of, being there healthy to really support your child to grow up and, reach adulthood. So they've got, two parents who are healthy, who can fully support them. And as I said, the gut plays a huge role in the whole process of regulating and managing our hormones. And a lot of those hormones are ones that are there, if you like, to run the key systems in our body, and making sure that they are effectively, running effectively and optimally to keep us healthy. But, estrogen is just one of those, one of those hormones. But of course, when it comes to your fertility, estrogen is really important. And, because you've got situations where, you could have too much estrogen or too little estrogen. And, when you have too much estrogen, that causes PCOS, and a lot of women are struggling with PCOS these days. And, the other thing is, having irregular periods, and both of those things obviously can actually get in the way of the whole conception process. But, testosterone and progesterone are also in the mix with the hormones, and, they are balanced and managed in the gut too. So, there's another element, if you like, of some other hormones which are important when it comes to your fertility. But what things have a negative impact and can result in you having poor gut health? Well, big one is diet, as you might imagine. And it really is, important when it comes to, maintaining and keeping your gut microbiome healthy. And the problem is that, our diets have changed hugely in the last sort of 40, 50 years ago. We no longer eat like our grandparents ate. And, unfortunately, in many ways, it hasn't been for the better either. So many of us are consuming a lot of processed foods now, high levels of sugar, there's bad fats, there's lack of fiber, and really not eating enough of sort of fresh vegetables and fresh fruits. And, all of that is just really contributing to our guts becoming unhealthy. And that really has a big impact on our overall health. Then there are other things that will get in the way as well and have an impact on disrupting the gut microbiome, and things like medications, alcohol, recreational drugs, artificial sweeteners, contraceptive pill, but also stress. And that is one big factor. And stress is one thing that really can get in the way of conception happening. So how does a poor gut health disrupt hormone balance and, you know, affecting the egg and the sperm quality as well? And it have an impact on I can never say this, implantation. Well, one of the things we need to talk about is a thing called leaky gut. Now, I don't know if you've heard of that. I think it's talked about quite a lot, so you might know. But I just really want to explain in very simple terms what that means and why it's important. So when you have a leaky gut, basically what's happened is that there are little breaches, if you like, in the gut wall lining. So it's got little holes in it. And what happens is that you can have food particles and other things, if you like, they get in the bloodstream. And then your immune system, if you like, goes on red alert, me, because those sort of things should not be in your bloodstream. And that situation causes inflammation to happen in the body. And the other factor is that, when you've got a leaky gut, you're not able to fully absorb all the nutrients, vitamins and minerals, even if you're actually eating a healthy diet, because the body needs certain levels of nutrients to be able to support a viable pregnancy, and also to ensure that, eggs and sperm are healthy too. So what are the results of having a disruptive microbiome? Well, one of the key things when it comes to fertility is that it can lead to estrogen dominance. And, that is a case of creating a situation of having PCOS, but also you can have thyroid problems for women. But for men, reduced testosterone and inflammation can have an impact on the quality of your sperm as well. And what about weight issues? Well, I had personally had experience of having weight issues several years ago now. And basically, when I actually addressed my gut microbiome, my gut health, and got it back into a really good place, I was able to shift quite a lot of weight in a very short period of time without doing anything terribly drastic. So it is, it does have an impact on weight issues, and weight issues obviously also can have an impact on your ability to conceive, and that, applies to both men and women. So just really wanted to share with you about a client of mine, well, a couple really, so both of them, and they had been struggling, for 7 long years trying to conceive, which is very sad and obviously very stressful, and getting to the place of having a lot of feeling really desperate about the situation. So they thought their option really went, then the only option that was left to them was to go for IVF treatment. They went along to fertility clinic, had their consultation, and basically she was told that because of her weight, that she should go away, they should both go away and come back when she'd lost the weight. But the sad thing is that they didn't actually send her away with any, proper instructions or details of how she could actually lose that weight. So when we started working together, she was in a situation of having irregular periods. She's had some digestive issues. She had PCOS, and of course, she had weight issues. So, we started working on getting her gut microbiome in a really good place, and we got that in a good place. I helped them both parties, both couple partners, if you like, to really get themselves into eating a really healthy diet, and helping them manage stress, but also helping to manage the negative voice, which can really come in when you're struggling to conceive, and take you down in a downward spiral. And the great thing is that 4 months after we'd stopped working together, she did conceive. She lost 21 pounds in weight. She got back her regular periods. She conceived, and they now have a lovely, healthy baby boy, which is just so delightful, and such a blessing. And I'm really pleased for them. So, what are some common signs of having poor gut health? Well, I'm going to ask you a question. So, do you have, indigestion, bloating, wind, or even acid reflux? Now, because we see on television so many adverts for products that will help us, deal with these problems, that we tend to sort of see these things as being normal. But the reality is that they're actually the very early signs of things not being right in the gut. Do you crave foods like pizza, bread, cakes, biscuits, sugary things, sweets, all of those sorts of types of food? And do you find yourself, thinking, oh my God, I really I shouldn't be eating as much of these things. I really should have the willpower to stop eating these types of foods. But you know what? I just want you to stop, take a deep breath now, and relax, because it's not your fault. It's actually the bad bacteria in your gut that wants you to eat more and more of these things because it's their favorite food. It helps them to grow and multiply. So, it is really important to, get the gut into a good place. And it's those bad bacteria that cause problems with your health, but your mental health, but also your fertility. And some other signs, if you like, of things that are might be indicating where things are not right in your gut. These things really sort of take a lot longer, if you like, for your gut microbiome to be out of place for a longer period of time before you start probably to see them. So things like eczema, hives, itchy skin, fungal nail infections, athlete's foot, mood swings, anxiety, depression, but also autoimmune diseases. All of these things have their root cause in a disrupted gut microbiome. And really, what I recommend is it's really important to start taking action now, because when you start taking action now, then you're going to get closer and move into being in a place where you can increase your chances of conceiving and having a healthy baby quicker. And, another reason why is that the health of your microbiome really affects sperm quality and egg quality. But also, what you might not realize is that when your baby is born and it passes through the vaginal canal, your baby picks up your gut microbiome. So the more healthy your gut microbiome is, then the more healthy your baby is likely to be. Plus, that creates the foundation for their immune system. So it really is, going to be helpful for your baby to have that good, strong, healthy foundation. So what are some steps you could practically take as a couple to really, start getting your gut health into a better place? First of all, you might want to look at your diet. And one of the things that we need to talk about is the fact that good bacteria, and we want more of the good bacteria growing strongly in your gut, good bacteria love fiber. That's their favorite food. That's what helps them to grow strong and multiply. So, you could start eating more fresh fruit and having more fresh vegetables with your meals, and, eating more whole grains as well, because refined things made from refined flour, white flour, are not that helpful in terms of fiber. And, sugar as well. So, if you're craving after your meal to have a nice little sweet sugary dessert, what you could do is actually swap that out and really have a piece of fresh fruit instead. And those are some easy things that you could start doing, tonight, tomorrow, this week. And I'm often asked, if food alone can really make a difference. Well, I have to say that yes, food is incredibly important, but if your gut health is not in a very good place and you have some of those signs that I mentioned earlier, then it's really important to actually go through a particular specific structured process that will really heal and rebalance your gut effectively. And what does that look like? Well, first we have to sort of remove the foods that don't really support gut health. And we also do a sort of a bit of detox to get rid of any harmful toxins that might be in your body as well. We replace, with suitable foods that really, support good gut health. But we also look at vitamins and minerals, because a lot of people are often deficient in certain ones, particularly vitamin D is a key one, and also omega-3. And then the third stage, yes, it is about probiotics and prebiotics. So re-inoculating your gut with good bacteria. And, the whole process is to feed those so that they really grow and multiply well and kick out the bad stuff. And then the final sort of stage is really what I call rebalancing. And this is where it's important to really look at, any lifestyle changes that you need to make, things that actually aren't really supporting you properly. but also making sure that you have a really good night's sleep all the time. But the other element is talking about stress. And stress is a big thing that gets in the way of conception. So starting some processes that really help you to reduce your stress, getting that under control is really important. So what could you do? Well, my recommendations are really to start doing sort of meditation on a daily basis. And, I know when I started meditating that I didn't find it very easy at all. So, what I recommend is finding yourself a guided meditations. There's plenty, on YouTube and different platforms, if you like, that you can listen to. And they're a good place to start. The other elements in reducing stress: get out, take walks in nature, and make sure you're having regular exercise. And regular exercise is really important for improving your circulation, and having good circulation is also important for your fertility too. So one of the things that I would recommend is really getting personalized support from a holistic practitioner, a nutritionist who who specializes in gut health. For me, that's the best option, because it'll really ensure that you get the right guidance. You're going to know exactly what you need to be doing so that you get the best result. And when you get the best result, you're going to start reaping the benefits, if you like, far more quickly by doing it the right way. So I'd just like to summarize really why it's important to get your gut health in a good place. So we're coming sort of, towards the end of the show today, and I just want to summarize the key reasons why it's so important to really, focus on getting your gut health in a good place first before you look to conceive. The first place really is to talk about the immune system. We said that your gut is 70% of your immune system. And, you want to be healthy when you start off on this journey. You want to ensure that you have healthy eggs and sperm, because that's going to help you to have a more likely to have a healthy baby. That's important. It takes 90 days for both new eggs and sperm to mature. So the sooner you actually start getting your gut in a good place, the more likely you are to have healthy eggs and healthy sperm. Then you really want to increase your chances of having a healthy baby, don't you? And, I want you also to recognize that IVF is so often by many seen as something of maybe a bit of a quick fix when it comes to conception. But having healthy eggs and sperm is just as important, and it will increase your chances of success as well. But finally, really, is that to me, having two healthy parents who are eating a healthy diet and are really looking after themselves is the best gift that you could actually give to your future child, because you're going to be there to be fully present and to support them into adulthood. So as we come to the end of the show now, I really just want to, say thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a real pleasure. And if this episode has resonated with you and you know of anybody who you feel needs to hear this, please do share it with them. And also, if you're open to, taking a more holistic approach to your fertility journey, I'd really love to be able to support you and walk that path with you. And you can connect with me, Sue Ritchie, on social media. I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. And, you can also connect with me on my website, which is sue-ritchie.com. And that's Ritchie is spelled Ritchie, and it's not like Lionel. So if there's one thing that I'd really like you to take away from the show today, and that is gut health isn't just about your digestion. It's the foundation of your health, your fertility, your hormones, your energy, and the health of your future baby that I know you will be longing to hold. And to me, it's about healthy, happy couples creating healthy, happy babies. So until the next time, please, please do take really, really good care of yourself. Thank you for listening to the Conscious Conception Show with me, Sue Ritchie. To stay informed and inspired, be sure to tune in every third Tuesday of the month at 7:30 a.m. Pacific on Transformation Talk Radio. Subscribe so you never miss an episode, and sign up for my newsletter for helpful tips on boosting fertility and preparing for positive, empowered parenthood. If you're ready for more support, connect with me on social media on Instagram and LinkedIn and at Optimum Fertility, or visit my website at sue-ritchie.com.